You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I have got your Days of Our Lives episode info for today, July 18th, 2023. There's some really good stuff happening on Tuesday. It's episode 217 of season 58, and we're going to dig in. There's some really exciting stuff. I do want to start with Brady Black facing the police because his daughter Rachel called the cops on him. And I have to kind of agree with Rachel to some extent. We're going to dig into this in 1 second, but if you haven't, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives updates. So Jada had started to grill Brady on Monday's episode, and he's infuriated because he assumes that Kristen had called the cops on him, and Kristen had every right to. He pulled a gun out and put it in her face, and despite her, tactics, she did not go take Rachel from camp. Rachel ran from camp. Rachel ran to her. She obviously wants to be with her mother, and Brady is going to be causing problems if he tries to cut off access to her. That's why Marlena tried to talk him down, and instead, he tore up the custody papers that Belle made and brought a gun. I mean, none of that makes any sense. So it's kind of funny when he's yelling about Kristen calling the cops and little Rachel's like, I did it. Boom, mic drop. So Rachel saw the gun in his hand. She saw him, threatening her mom. Then he was trying to rationalize it and explain it away. And she's not dumb. Actually, Rachel is very crafty, clever. It's in her DiMera DNA, adopted DiMera DNA to be specific. But still, I don't know. I think he might definitely wind up arrested. And again, rightly so. He was waving a gun in front of their daughter, waving it in his baby mama's face. There's really no defense for this. I can't imagine that Jada is going to leave without hauling Brady along in handcuffs. All right. We have Gabi Hernandez startling Li Shin on Tuesday. She turns up out of the blue. Stefan does not want her out trying to protect him and being his white knight, but she's not going to listen to him. Gabi does what Gabi does. And she knows that Li Shin wanted Stefan dead. She's not buying the whole garbage story about, it was just Megan and Rolf. It wasn't me. No, she doesn't buy it. And I think she is going to creep up on Li Shin and threaten him in a vile way. Because he had in his twisted idea of his mind, if Harris kills Stefan, then Gabi will come back to me. No, she's not, dude. She is never coming back to you. It's like that Taylor Swift song, never, ever, never, ever getting back together. There was a lot of never evers in there. All right. So the next thing we want to talk about is Kristen DiMera telling Belle Black that Brady has threatened her. So Belle is over at the DiMera mansion, and, she wasn't necessarily in favor of writing up this new custody agreement. And basically Belle sees it as negotiating with a terrorist, but Marlena was trying to get her to see reason and saying, we have to do what's best for Rachel. And what's best for Rachel is that she has access to both of her parents. When Kristen tells Belle that Brady pulled a gun on her and put it in her face and did it in front of their daughter, that's probably going to change Belle's tune. Even if you say, okay, Kristen has pushed him to the point of losing his temper, but he opened up a gun safe. It was like a key and then a safe. It was a lot of steps that he had to take to get that gun over there. It wasn't just where it was a crime of passion where he grabbed a pillow and tried to smother her, or he put his hands around her neck. Not that those are good, but those are crimes of passion. What Brady did was premeditated, and that's a whole different level of threat and a whole different level of danger. When he came over there, he brought that gun knowing what he was going to do. And what he didn't know was that Rachel was there. And he got busted, and, dude's just got to chill. He's going to end up cooling his heels in Statesville if he is not careful. And remember, he was in Statesville because Philip Kiriakis had framed him by using his fake leg and framed him. And so Brady knows how uncomfortable Statesville is. He does not need to go down this route. Fortunately, he is out. Also, we had just done a standalone video on Jean-Paul Lavoisier. I have the hardest time with that name. You guys probably do too. Lavoisier. Okay. So he's back as Philip. It's not J. Kenneth Johnson. And I am just kind of curious if he and Brady are going to have a run-in, and Brady's going to be pretty mad to see, him alive well after what he went to jail for. Okay, we're going to talk about one last big thing happening on Days of Our Lives today, Tuesday, July 18th. But first, if you haven't, please reach down, click that subscribe so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives spoilers. And if you're enjoying this, we'd love a like. All right. The big and most interesting spoiler to me is that Leo Stark has been in bed with Dimitri von Leuschner apparently this whole time, and little Leo has been enjoying the big bad wolf in bed, and Leo has to do this walk of shame back over to the hotel room with the little single beds that he and Gwen Rizchek share. And of course, as he should, he's feeling guilty because he was boinking her fiance, and even worse, that's bad enough, but he also knows that her fiance is gay and is never going to be the kind of husband that she needs. I mean, it's not clear, is he going to keep sleeping with them both? I don't know what Dimitri's plan is. Because if he's a gay man, that seems like a chore, sleeping with Gwen, and she deserves better than that, even though she can be rotten. So there's some really interesting spoilers around this. There's an undated spoiler for this week, says that Leo Stark considers telling Gwen the truth. He considers coming clean to her. He's feeling very guilty. This is his best friend who has stood by him no matter what horrible things he's done. And then there was another spoiler that came out of, I think, the Soap magazine this week. I'm pretty sure that's where it was from, but it was very interesting because Gwen notices Leo sexting with someone. I don't know if she realizes it's with Dimitri, but little Leo is going to feel like garbage about this, but he has promised his new bed buddy that he will keep his dirty secret. The question is, will Leo let his lust for Dimitri override his friendship and affection for Gwen? I think for at least a few more days, he's probably going to keep it secret. And if he starts wavering and has a conversation with Dimitri, Dimitri will probably take him back to bed and reconvince him to keep quiet. It is pretty sketchy, and we are looking forward to all of this. I'm hoping none of it comes out until the wedding because, they love blowing up weddings on Days of Our Lives, sometimes quite literally with actual explosives. All right, we hope you enjoy today's Days of Our Lives spoiler edition for Tuesday, July 18th, and we hope you enjoy the episode.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.